Right, hello everybody, welcome back to the Golden Sky. Today it is Sunday, the 2nd of November 2025. We are fresh off the backs of a Liverpool victory 2-0 at home to Aston Villa, back to winning ways in the Premier League. I'm Tom, and in today's video we're going to go through that game and have a little look at some clips from the game, and as always talk through the things that I picked up from watching it back. This time talking about what Liverpool did well and how Arne Slot helped Liverpool get a victory. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy and you're new to the channel, please do click that subscribe button. Like I said, I always say this at the start of the videos. Like the video, comment away what you think of the video or what you think of Liverpool as always, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're trying to get to 200. I want to say a big thank you to everybody for doing exactly those things, liking and commenting recently on the channel. The ratings from yesterday doing extremely well, hitting that 20 like mark. If we can hit that again, that'll be awesome. On today's video, that's the target, and getting closer and closer to 200. So thank you for the support, everybody, really appreciate it. Let's keep it going on this one. I am doing the tactics video today because tomorrow I will do a Real Madrid preview, and then Tuesday will be the ratings. So busy schedule for me, so hope you all appreciate it, because I love doing these videos for you all. So yes, today we're going to look at some pictures, but to start off the video we're going to look at the tactics board, because I want to talk about some things Liverpool did before I actually show you how it happened in the game. So yeah, podcast listeners, thank you very much for listening as well. But if you want to come over to the YouTube and see the visuals as well as hearing me speak, then obviously make sure you come and do that as well. And if you are a new person who watched the ratings and is watching again, why not tell your mates as well? Let's all enjoy Liverpool together when we're winning anyway. It's nice to be happy and do a tactics video that isn't me slating the fellas, it's actually me saying they did well. So let's go and look at the tactics board to start things off. Hope everyone's having a nice weekend as well. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So this is how the two teams lined up in the game yesterday. And what we saw with Liverpool's team was a little bit of a return to last season. And that spread across all of our play. He goes with the midfield that won the league last year. Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister, with Szoboszlai as this further forward player. And what we're going to talk about a lot in this video is pressing. Villa played right into our hands, and we'll talk about that a little bit as well. They couldn't have helped us more in this game, but our press was much better, and we'll talk about why later on. Robbo also came in at left back like I predicted he would, and was really good as well. Also really helped. Just a bit of experience, and I think he used that well in this game to help him out. So, what did Liverpool do that made them much better? Because we've been obviously in such a bad run of form. What did we do differently in this game? Well, the main thing, like I said, guys, was our press. So we've played a lot of teams recently that haven't tried to play out against us at all. They've kicked the ball long, and Villa should have done this, no doubt about it. Anyone who watches this game as an opposition team and tries to replicate what Villa do, either they're a really good side, and that's just what they do no matter what, or they're stupid. Villa, I think, a little bit naive, a little bit stupid yesterday. So let's give the ball to a centre-back or even the goalkeeper. Let's give it to Martinez, who was coming out of his net. And let's show you how Liverpool pressed. So Gakpo would be wide, and Villa like to put the full-backs really high and wide like this. And then the centre-backs come like this really wide as well. Ekitike would be here. And then we'd often have Szoboszlai just as high like this. Salah the same on Digne. Or sometimes he was even here, but most of the time it would be here. And then what we did that was really crucial was we pushed Maka right up on Kamara and Gravenberch right up on Onana. We were much braver in doing that. We basically went man-to-man with Villa's double pivot and didn't let them get on the ball here like this. So you can see already how much more aggressive we are just in that attacking third of the pitch. We're basically man-to-man with the four defenders and the double pivot that Villa had. And we pressed this way basically the whole game. It was essentially a 4-2-4. I mean, it looks like a 4-4-2 here, but it was like, here's your front four of Gakpo, Ekitike, Szoboszlai and Salah. We pressed in a 4-2-4, and you could see it from literally the first kickoff, which I'll show you in a second. So then what did the defence do? Well, Van Dijk and Konate were nice and high. They didn't give Villa a lot of space in behind. So obviously Watkins was right on the last line. And then McGinn would push up as well to try and support. And Villa like to get narrow, like we said in the preview. So Robbo would come up here. Wasn't going too infield, sticking to more of his position, but staying nice and disciplined. But what we did with Conor Bradley was interesting as well. So he wasn't the same as Robbo on the other side, because Rodgers is a really dangerous player for Villa. And he likes to come into the middle of the pitch. That's where he does his best work. And Bradley just followed him into the middle. You'll see on certain clips, Bradley is as tucked in as this. You know, almost level with Konate. Tucked in onto Rodgers. Following him, essentially. Not a man-marking job, but certainly from a press. And it just made it really difficult. You know, the only real way that Villa could play out of this was if they did some nice combinations and beat our players here, or if John McGinn dropped right in here. But this isn't really McGinn's game to come and receive the ball. And even if he does get the ball here, you know, we can move quickly, and Szoboszlai is so athletic, you know, we can move quickly and converge onto him. Also, receiving the ball from this type of pass is not an easy pass to make through the middle of the pitch to an attacking midfielder. It's a difficult ball to make, and you have to be a very confident side to do it. So that's something we did really, really well. Our pressing was much better. We were much more aggressive, and that's why we won the ball. Both our goals came from a press. And that's something we haven't been able to say this season at all, really. So that was really good from us. And we'll look at that in more detail. I do just want to look at one thing, though. And this video is going to be a lot of praise. There's not really much in the way of criticism for Liverpool in this video. I wanted to keep it positive. But just one thing that I wanted to look at is something that we did. So there's not really any clips of this that what I'm going to show you, because like I said, I didn't want to criticize everybody too much, or criticize anyone too much, but just something that I noticed in the game. So a lot of the time when we'd have the ball at the back like this, and I'm sort of moving everybody into their positions, Watkins would come and press, obviously, and then they'd have their players sort of pushed up the pitch like this. And they've got, you know, Szoboszlai was very high. They'd sort of have this situation going on. They'd be obviously much higher up than this. And maybe it would look something like this. And if Van Dijk had the ball, I've positionally, on purpose, put Gravenberch here. What we saw a lot of times, when we don't have the ball, Gravenberch is our deepest midfielder. But when we did have the ball, he was quite often further forward than McAllister. And we'd only build up with one, rather than with, you know, like we saw with Villa, with two like this. Maybe the idea is you want to get it in here and bounce it straight over here. We were seeing a lot of times where Van Dijk would have the ball, McAllister would be right in the middle, and Gravenberch would actually be further forward. And it almost looks like he's hiding at times, like he's hiding behind players. It's a tactic, definitely. I don't really understand it, and I'm not too keen on it, because we struggled to sometimes get the ball like this, but we did a lot better at build-up yesterday anyway, because McAllister was on form. It's the first time we've seen him play so well all season, really. But I just thought that was interesting. You'll see it a lot if you watch us and you know to look for it. Just watch Gravenberch's position. The idea, I think, we saw it at times when Maka would float sort of here, Van Dijk would find him, and then he would provide that wall pass, but Gravenberch was already ahead of the play rather than here. I think maybe the idea is to get them behind the striker, and then Gravenberch is able to carry the ball forward. Just something to note that was interesting. But talking about that, should we go and look at some photos to sort of demonstrate that even more and talk through the game and how happy we are that Liverpool got that win? Let's go and do that right now. Okay, everyone, so first literal minute of the game, I mean first second of the game, Villa are taking kickoff here, and you might be thinking, how can you put this in? How can this be anything to do with tactics? How can this be anything of note? It's kickoff. Just look straight away at the body language of our players. Now, look at Szoboszlai. He's in essentially a Usain Bolt sprinting position, like he's about to come out the blocks. You know, he's about to break the 100-meter world record. That's basically what he looks like. That's how desperate he is to go and press. Ekitike, ready to go and sprint. And look, you can see already, you can see our structure. We've got the four at the back, got the two in the midfield, and we've got basically a front four, like this. And that's how we pressed all night. Szoboszlai acted as a second striker, also as a centre mid, and also as a defender. He was unbelievable, Szoboszlai, in this game. And he's been our best player this season, clearly. And he keeps getting better and better every single week. But you can just see straight away, and I just thought it was interesting how obvious it is to put it in straight away, and it even continued. So, you know, Villa kicked the ball off, and you can see immediately how they play into our hands. What does pretty much every team do from kickoff nowadays? They roll the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper or centre-back, and then the ball goes long like this. Well, not Villa. They played the ball here and immediately straight back. And look at the press. Look at those two who are ready to sprint. Look, converged right on the ball. I think this is Morgan Rogers. First second of the game, we've got to press on. We've not seen this from Liverpool all year. So Villa have to go back. Now look. Gakpo pressing. Ekitike pressing. Szoboszlai and Salah ready to press. We're basically man-to-man. McAllister here, ready to move forward. Everybody is really aggressive. And that's come from the manager. Everyone was really amped up for this game. They really, really were desperate to win it. I think they all felt the pressure of what would happen if they didn't. I think they all looked rested after that rest in midweek. You've got to say, I'm not sure still it was the right decision for Slot to not play any of them at all in midweek. And obviously we got out of the cup. It paid off. We got the win. So, maybe he gets a little bit of relief for those decisions after midweek, after us winning this one. You can see the players look fresh. From the first whistle, they were amped up. Look, you can see it. The evidence is right in front of you. The ball goes back to Konza, and now they've got to go back to the goalkeeper. And look, you can see already, McAllister now, so Gravenberch's not in this photo per se, and sometimes the personnel would change depending on where the ball was and the game state and where players have picked up positions, but you can see straight away, we've got that front four, and then McAllister's joined them, and look how tight they are to Villa's double pivot. We're not really concerned with any of these three having the ball too much. We want to press them. Ekitike's here, and Salah's coming on, but we're not really all that concerned with it. The thing that we wanted to try and stop, and we did it most of the time. A few times Villa got through, so it wasn't perfect, but we want to stop the ball coming in here like this. So, the ball goes to Martinez. And again, you can see McAllister, Szoboszlai really tight. Good work from Salah. This isn't from kickoff, by the way. This is a little bit later in the game, but very early on. Good work from Salah here. And I've said this season, Salah doesn't press anymore. That's not his thing. He doesn't run back. In this game, he pressed like mad. His work rate was fantastic in this game. And it's not really to do with his work rate, why he doesn't run back. It's more of a tactics thing. But I think we relaxed that definitely in this game and said to him, look, you're going to need to put a shift in, Mo. And boy, did he respond in this game. He was fantastic. I think he felt a lot more at ease after getting that goal against Brentford. I really do think that helped him just relax his mind. And he put a good shift in, and he does well here. It's only a small thing, but it's this curved run of a press. It just means that Martinez is not really able to give this ball here. He can't give this ball in here, and he certainly can't go in here. The only pass option he's really got is to Konza, but Ekitike can come and press this ball after. But it's just how tight we are not allowing Villa to get out that was really good. So he kicks the ball long. You can see Salah's closed him down well. There's no way he can play this ball now. It's a clever... If you curve the run, they can't pass the ball here because he's got to use his right foot. Kamara has actually shown for it, but it's too late. He's already committed to the long kick. They kick it long, and Van Dijk wins the ball, as he often does win that first ball. The vital thing was our second ball. And look, you see in here, this time it's Robbo. Pointed out Connor Bradley coming infield. You can see here, McGinn's actually the one on the left wing, so he stayed wide in his normal traditional fullback position. But look where Morgan Rogers is, and look where Andy Robbo is. He's followed him right infield, right from the goalkeeper, where Rogers wants to go on the ball in the middle. He's followed him inside, and now look how that helps us pick up the second ball. Van Dijk plays him. Robbo able to get on it, and we've suddenly got the second ball from a press. We haven't been able to win second balls for a long, long time. This was a good little move to move one of the fullbacks inside to help with those second balls. And now we see a bit of quality play, and this is something else we haven't seen in a little while. Robbo into Gakpo. It's just simple play from Robbo, but he did it well. He did everything well in this game. It didn't cause any issues. Robbo just did his job. Stellar work at left back. The ball comes into Gakpo, and then it goes first time to McAllister. This is where you see McAllister at his sharpest. First time back to Gakpo, completely takes Kamara out of the game, just completely eliminates him from the game. Gakpo again now, first time ball, it goes back to Szoboszlai. It's really good play. We've cut out this entire midfield from a press, from winning the second ball, and from some one-touch play. And all of a sudden, it's us bearing down on Villa's defence. Szoboszlai has a shot at goal. It didn't go anywhere, it didn't go in, but on another day, he could fly into the top corner, he could spill it, we could get a rebound, could get a corner. It's just good play. It's something we haven't really seen from us. And then I just put a few clips in of us creating chances, because, well, frankly, we haven't really been creating a lot of quality chances, I think, especially not in the first half of games where we're the real aggressor of the two sides and we're the one putting the other team under pressure. And I wanted to look at Salah especially as well, because he was really good in this game. And this attack in particular, like I said, is something that we saw a lot last season. I said earlier in the video, we went back to what we saw last season a lot. Well, we saw it more here. Inverted crosses. And that's where our wingers are coming off their wing inside and wanting to cross the ball like this to the back post. Gakpo does it all the time. Salah does it all the time. We did it last year, loads and loads. Not been as successful this year. Salah does it here. Gakpo, he's 6'4", playing left wing. Like, he's going to get up and win headers. Wins the header really well. Ekitike almost gets onto it. Look, he throws his foot and his head at it. He's so unlucky. He's making like a C shape, backwards C almost. Try and head it. Doesn't quite get it, but if he does, you know, it's a goal. It's good play. It's only a short clip, but another one here. This time Gakpo just showing a bit of the quality that we've got, that we had in the team yesterday. Gakpo, little chip into Szoboszlai, knocks the ball down with his head into Robbo, who again was excellent in this game. Robbo has it now, goes for the volley, feeble effort, but it's just good. And I want to highlight at this point the structure of our attacks. It didn't seem to matter which 5 players it was, but if you'll see, and when I show more clips from this, the attacks that Liverpool have, there is pretty much always 5 players in our attack, no more and no less. And then behind them, there's usually 3 players. Now, this is something that we haven't really seen. We've seen a lot of players commit into attacks, and then we've often seen 2 players, or maybe even just 1, backing them up. And that's been enabling teams when we lose the ball to just counter-attack us really easily. I think playing this sort of, I don't know if it was more discipline per se, but having the 3 behind the attackers helped us to win second balls. And you'll see that more and more as the video goes on. And I pointed out here because you can see these 3 stalking the play. Yes, we've only got 4 forward, but you know, just keep that in mind as we go through the video. More pressing here. We see again, everybody, we've got a front 4. This time, Gravenberch just jumped forward really high. I told you it can be different players depending on just game state and where players are, the positions they've picked up. So Gakpo is sort of dropping off a little. He's not playing really in midfield here, but you know, he's just dropping off. He knows he doesn't really need to rush into here, leaving McAllister completely on his own. But Villa piss around. They play the ball in field. They want to bounce it straight back. This is a bad ball from Kamara. Like I've said in previous videos, my coaches when I played would have called this an "I don't want it" pass. I mean, he can turn around here, but just bouncing the ball straight back, he's saying I don't want the ball. You know, I'm just going to give it straight back to you, and he does it poorly as well. And he enables Szoboszlai to step in and win it. And just look how like aggressive we are in our press. You know, we've got loads of players around the ball. We've got players in the middle of the pitch. We haven't seen this from Liverpool. We've seen massive gaping areas in the middle and loads of space and time for defenders to just plod forward with the ball and hit long balls to wings. Not in this game. Szoboszlai wins it. I mean, we get a really, really good chance. Like, he actually hits this with his left foot straight at Martinez. You know, he could score. He could even just tap it over to Salah and then he probably scores. We don't make the most of it, but it's just good play. You've got to praise it where it is good play. And I put this clip in just to show how Villa really helped us in the game. Because they did. They were, you know, it was kind of like they sent us a little early Crimbo Prezi, maybe a late Halloween bag of sweets. Because situations like this is only a very, very short clip, but situations like this just really encapsulate the game. They have a free kick here in the edge of the box. Now, if this was pretty much any other team we've played recently, Palace, Brentford, Man United, this ball is coming into the back post to be headed across to try and head it in the net. Simple as that. But Villa, it's just really strange. It's very central, so it's difficult necessarily to know, you know, to do a good set piece from here, sure. But they line up like all across the front. There's no real like target where the ball's going to go. And what they actually end up doing is just rolling it to the side for Matty Cash to have a shot from about 40 yards out. Like Liverpool will, this is like Christmas, like I said. This is a birthday gift to let Liverpool off a set piece easily by having a shot from 40 yards out that trickles wide. This is, you couldn't give us a better present, really, you couldn't. So put that in just to show Villa's maybe naivety and how they helped us out, which is surprising from Emery. They did take long throws in the first half, but they weren't successful and they just stopped doing it. So it's like they did try, but then they went back to their sort of main philosophy. More chances from us, more good work from Salah. We saw this a lot in the game. He was really sharp with his touch, and he hasn't been sharp with his touch for many games now, many games. Not since the Atletico Madrid game has he been sharp with his touch. We saw like against Brentford where he'd get the ball to his feet like this, and he just would take a bad touch and it'll allow the fullback to make a tackle. Here he's really crisp. The ball comes in, he traps it right at his feet. He holds off Digne. He's too strong for Digne. He's too strong for most players, but Digne has no chance. Holds it, waits for the support, rolls it to Gravenberch, draws out the centre back. Gravenberch does a lovely little poke round the corner. McAllister gets onto it, hits a shot. On another day this goes in. Konza makes a really good block. But look at the reaction. And look also here, look at this. This is what I pointed out earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a bad 3. 5. Let's correct that 3 a little bit. This is the the thing I was saying before. Look at the 5 players. Look at Robbo. Got no interest in bombing on to join this attack at all. He knows his role is more important than that at the minute. We've got enough players here who can score. Look, even here, you can see it better. Look at the 3 players here. Bradley, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch. Bradley, Szoboszlai, Robertson. No desire to go forward. We can see the front 5. There's no need to send more players into the box. Bradley being disciplined, not bombing on. This would be Kirkez going mental, running down here or running in here. Szoboszlai was an advanced player in this game, but look, our other 2 midfielders have gone forward. He recognises it. And this is the reaction that it gives us. So McAllister is able to, when the block is made, to then fight for the second ball. He doesn't quite win it. Digne gets it, but he forces him to take a little bit of a off-balance kick. The ball goes up in the air. And look at Szoboszlai, from that discipline of just hanging back, he's able to pick the ball up in a completely unchallenged position. Robbo's right next to him if he needs any help, and we're able to maintain the attack. And we almost score because Szoboszlai takes his time, puts in a really, really good cross to Ekitike, who makes a good run, and he knocks it in with his head. Great header, knocks it in, but he is just a yard offside. So it's just a lot better from us. It really is. Like, the way that we set that attack up, the way that we sustained it, is how you break down a team with a low block. You sustain attacks. You keep attacking over and over again. Good job from us here. More pressing from us this time. You see again, we've got the front 4, but this time Gakpo's ended up at striker. That there'll be someone over at left wing where Gakpo is, but Szoboszlai's sort of in the middle. Gravenberch will probably be holding back. Robbo might even be really pushed up, but we see, again, really tight to the centre-backs. Szoboszlai and McAllister both stalking the double pivots, not allowing the ball to come into the midfield. Salah in a decent position to cut off this pass as well if Pau Torres opens up his body and wants to use his left foot, which is his favoured foot. It's just a lot better pressing. The ball goes back to Martinez, and of course, this is just a terrible error from Martinez, really. For some reason, he tries to pass this ball to Pau Torres. It's not even a hard pass. He just gets it completely wrong. Obviously, comes to Salah and he taps it in the net. I'm not going to analyse that any further. It's just the press, again, from us is much better. Creates the goal. Then we see more work from Salah. Again, just really, really good. We see the underlapping run from the fullback. So this allows, whether it's underlap or an overlap, if the sort of player that would stop the winger from coming inside is taken, away from the play. So if John McGinn was able to stand here, when Salah comes inside, McGinn's going to tackle him, but Bradley making this run just opens up all of this space for Salah to come inside. And you'll see similar on the other side in a second. Whether this is an overlap, the same thing, where the midfielder has to track it. This is what we did a lot last season. So Salah comes inside, works the angle, and now we see Gakpo running off the back post. It's that inverted cross again. The reason why it's inverted is because a traditional cross, let's say it's from the left wing, goes like this and it curves away from the goal, like with a left footer. That's a more traditional cross. This one's inverted where the left footer's crossing it towards the goal with his left foot, and the right footer like this. It's the opposite to what you'd see. Gakpo, he's offside, I think, and he also miscontrols it, but another day we timed this perfectly and he can just tap this in the net. We saw a lot of these type of goals last year. That was why Salah was getting crazy assist numbers. Look, exactly the same on the other side. Underlapping run again from Robbo, opens up the space. This time, it's Kamara who's tracking Robbo, and they actually do a bit better here, Villa. Like, they've got Gisson back, Cash is there, and Kamara, so it makes it a little bit harder for Gakpo to get the ball in, but he still does. He beats Gesson, who doesn't really do a whole lot. What have we seen here? 1, 2, 3 players being disciplined. Bradley's sort of going forward, but that's okay because, you know, Gakpo's sort of in this area. You know, we're not, you know, too out of shape if he does go forward. Anyway, Gakpo's going to play this ball to Salah. Salah does really, really well. I think he was offside as well, maybe by just a smidge. Heads the ball back. It's a great header. And there's Bradley. You see, continued his run, like he said. Gets on the ball for the volley. On another day, this flies in the top corner, or maybe in this one. But in this occasion, it went straight to Martinez. And I think we might have been offside as well. But it's just more back to what we played last season in terms of our attacking patterns. We haven't really seen this a lot this year. Now, more pressing. Again, this is another goal from us that we created by forcing Villa into mistakes. Now, like I said, Villa played into our hands, sure, but this is a good press from us. Here we see this is what I showed you in the tactics board, the front four of where you've got Ekitike and Szoboszlai acting as two strikers almost. Szoboszlai really pressing the centre back, and we saw this against Brentford. If you remember, when we scored in the last minute, it was Szoboszlai's pressing that caused the error. Then he was able to set up Salah. Salah working really hard, stopping this ball coming over to Digne. And then again, we see the two midfielders from Liverpool pushed nice and high onto the midfielders from Villa. So there's no way Onana can get this ball. Gakpo will be over here, you know, with Cash, wherever they are. And then Ekitike's pressed the goalkeeper, so the ball can't go back to the goalkeeper. It's just clever. We've not seen us press this well. It's not hard. It's just basics, really, but we've done a poor job of it up to this point so far this season. Again, we see Van Dijk step in to win the ball. We saw this in the first half. You can see this time Bradley is a little bit more in that opposite position like we saw Robbo in the first half. He's come inside. He's with McGinn this time as Rodgers is right in the middle. But you can see we've got the three defenders and then Bradley sort of pushed into the middle to deal with Villa's attacking midfielders. Van Dijk wins it, finds Gakpo. And then, again, it's about quality from us. Can we play well? McAllister, much, much better in this game. Show him for the ball. Gakpo finds him. McAllister opens up the body. Right timing. You see, look, he draws everybody to look towards him. Everybody is ball watching. And McAllister just has that tempo control when he's at his best. He's our best midfielder at this. Plays the ball to Gravenberch, yep. He's in loads and loads of space. Takes the touch out of his feet on the back foot. Drives towards the edge of the box, doesn't really have a pass on, so thinks, why not? I'll have a shot. It deflects off Pau Torres, and it ends up in the net for 2-0. And it's another counter-press goal. It's another situation where we've got 5 forward. You can see Bradley and McAllister sitting back. Robbo will be joining them as well to help, you know, shore up that defensive structure. We scored to go 2-0 up. Now, it wasn't all perfect. At times, we did get it wrong in the game, and this is an example of that. I don't want to just be blind and say Liverpool did everything brilliantly and we're going to win the league. We did do some things that were bad. What we see here, again, you see Bradley tucked in to deal with Rodgers, and then you've got the back three. You can just see Robbo, but you know it's sort of a back three like this, with Watkins forcing them back, or maybe Marlon at this point actually forcing them back. The thing that we do wrong here is this time the midfielder does have the ball and he doesn't have any pressure on the ball. We're thinking we're good here. There's nowhere he can go. We're good. No one's pressing him. But Ross Barkley has just gone off the blind side of both these two players and no one is able to close the passing lane, which is just, it's poor from us. We just lose our way a little bit here. We are in sort of the 4-4-2. I mean, 4-2-4, whatever you want to call it, but we've got Szoboszlai and Ekitike acting as strikers in the press. But Onana is able to just roll this ball straight through to Bradley. It's a good to Barkley. Sorry, it's a good ball. Barkley receives the ball, and all of a sudden you see our players like, oh shit, everyone's sprinting back. You know, and Villa drive forward. Barkley has a shot, and this is similar to the Caicedo goal. If you remember, they passed the ball straight into him in between the lines, and he was able to travel forward. It was a little bit further towards the goal when he received the ball. But our defence only engages right at the edge of the box. This time, Barkley has the shot, and Mamardashvili easily saves it. It didn't fly into the top corner like Caicedo's. But just something to look out for from us that we didn't quite get right. Last little bit I'll show you from the game. We've talked about everything that I think we needed to talk about really in this video. But just another example of us attacking with a nice balance. This time it's Gakpo on the ball. And Ekitike pulls out wide nicely. Gakpo's able to find him. This was Ekitike's last action of the game, and he wasn't too involved, but he does really well here. You see, he waits for the right opportunity. Robbo's come forward. What have we got again, guys? The front five. Bradley not getting too high. He did a lot better at this. Just backing the play up. Doesn't need to go, hell for leather into the box. Akatike waits for the right time. Little back heel into Robbo. Robbo gets on it. Puts a really nice ball in. Good defending from Maatsen at the back post to stop the ball going to Salah, because it would have been a certain goal otherwise. He had a clear tap in at the back stick. So good defending. Liverpool almost 3-0 up, almost killed the game off. But just attacking with a lot more flow, a lot more purpose, a lot quicker in our attacks as well yesterday. So that was really, really good. And then finally, the last thing I'll show you. I've been showing you this sort of graph from the stats, just overall stats of Liverpool's games so far in the last few games when I've been criticising us. I want to look at this one here, everyone. The most important stat of all, 0 big chances for Villa. This is the most important stat. We've been giving up like 5 per game. 0 big chances given up. That is much, 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 much better. They even had more possession. We had less. That's fine. We pressed them. We made use of our big chances. Made use of our XG. We won the game on all the stats that you want to see. Even though Villa wanted to get on the ball more, we didn't give up any chances that were real goal-scoring chances. Defended well, got the clean sheet. Very well done. Very important to get that 3 points. All right then, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I do hope that you did enjoy. This has come out right after the game, so Sunday video. I hope you did enjoy it, because tomorrow we're going to have a preview now for the Real Madrid game. So videos coming thick and fast. Make sure you watch them all, like them all, comment away if you are enjoying them. I really do appreciate the support on the channel, guys, really do. Let's try and get to 200 by the end of this week. Big week. Can we make it a big week for us as well, for the Golden Sky? Let's get to 200 subscribers. If you did enjoy, please do click that subscribe button. But yes, lots to come. Hope you did enjoy this one. And yeah, that's all I've really got to say. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll speak to you all very soon. Goodbye.